California MBA DE&I Podcast. I'm Dr. Stacy Wayman, Manager of Client Digital Experience at National Mortgage Insurance, and also your podcast host. Thank you for joining us today. At National MI, we're dedicated to making a positive impact in the communities where we live and work. We bring innovative mortgage insurance solutions to the market, helping more people have access to sustainable homeownership and to preserve their American dream. A big thank you to our sponsor, PCV Mercor, one of the nation's leading valuation management companies for residential and commercial valuations. We appreciate your continued support and sponsorship. With me today is Jennifer Schachterle, Senior Vice President of Sales and Business Development for Federal Home Loan Bank of San Francisco. Welcome, Jennifer.
Thank you. I'm really happy to be here.
I'm really excited to have you here with us today. I got to say, I know this is your first time doing a podcast with us, and you may be the first guest that I actually had the pleasure of meeting in person before we stepped into a podcast, because, you know, we live in this virtual world now.
Yes. And I was so happy to see you last week. That event was amazing and great to meet you in person.
Yeah, a shameless plug for the California MBA's first Empower event in Newport Beach last week. It was a very well attended event. We had rock star panelists. It was so good to see so many folks from the industry there sharing in all of that knowledge and that positive energy of the room.
It was a great day. It was a really great day. I can't believe how amazing it was, how many folks turned out for it. Meg Myers did an amazing job.
Oh yeah.
Terry and Marianne. It was a great day. So not a shameless plug at all. I think it's well deserved. It was a great day.
Yeah. Absolutely perfect. Awesome. So I want to first invite you to introduce yourself and talk about what it is that you do for Federal Home Loan Bank. But I think we should also throw in there maybe a description and explanation about Federal Home Loan Bank, what you do, what the mission is, the focus, because I'm sure we have a lot of folks in our audience who haven't peeked behind the curtain yet.
No, that sounds great. I'm happy to do it. So I'm Senior Vice President of Sales and Business Development for the Federal Home Loan Bank of San Francisco. We're one of 11 federal home loan banks throughout the country. As with many folks, when I first started exploring this opportunity, you know, I don't know that I knew the full scope of what the Federal Home Loan Bank system does. And now that I understand it, I kind of see why. So they were created out of an act of Congress in the 30s. And it was really, they're a wholesale liquidity provider, and their mission was to get liquidity to banks and financial institutions so they could lend in their communities to get people in homes and give them the ability to buy houses. So housing and affordable housing is really the forefront of the mission. We do that through providing liquidity to our members, which are banks, credit unions, insurance companies, and CDFIs. We're not part of the Fed. We're not a government entity. We are a GSE, so we're regulated by FHFA, but essentially we are member-owned cooperatives. So when financial institutions become members, they buy stock, and we return that to them in the form of dividends. And then also the whole housing mission is fulfilled by us giving back every year through our net income. So we're actually required to give 10% of our net income back every year in the form of affordable housing grants, down payment assistance. We have other programs, and then we also have voluntary. So we give back. The system has given back, since this all started in 1990, $8 billion in money. Yeah, and again, because we're a wholesale provider of liquidity, and it goes through our financial institution members. You know, we've been around for over 90 years, but a lot of folks don't hear our name or see us, and we're not necessarily one in the spotlight, which is okay. But I do think folks need to understand I was overwhelmed by the numbers I saw when I started with the bank. So it's I'm here to kind of celebrate it and let people know there's a lot happening out in the space, and it's good. There's a lot of work to do, but certainly we're a big proponent of it.
Yeah, I love that that you all also see affordable housing as a DE&I matter, and I think that our audience would agree that certainly access to affordable housing is something that we can view that as diversity, equity, inclusion matter, and something that all of us have to pull together and really make a difference in our society. And you have some amazing data and statistics about the Federal Home Loan Bank and the work that you do. And it's how you empower members and communities to further affordable housing. I'd love for you to share more about that.
Yeah, so we actually have, in addition, so the bank has its own board of directors, but then we also have an affordable housing board of directors. So we have a board that is specifically designated with just dealing with affordable housing and how can we do more and make it better and what programs aren't we doing. So it's been fun for me to participate in some of those meetings. And, there's a lot of good stuff happening, also so much work to do, as we all know. And so it's great because it brings a lot of local leaders together. It brings people in the community to deal with all different types of housing related and affordable housing related issues. So San Francisco in particular, our social impact or the amount that we've been able to contribute since this started in 1990 is about $1.5 billion. And it's staggering to think. So 1.3 billion of that has come through our statutory grants, the 10% we have to give. We've also done voluntary grants, which have contributed over $140 million. And then if our members are lending into projects that are helping affordable housing, we'll give them discounted rates on their borrowings through us. So we've generated another 123 million in interest saved through these programs. So there's tons of stats out there about the way we've been able to help in multifamily, single family, but we're always looking to do more. I would just throw out there, we started doing an impact report a couple of years ago, which I think many are doing. It's on our website and it is 60 pages of, all of the facts and figures and highlighted some of the great things our members have done. And we don't have time to go through all of it today, but if folks are interested, certainly go check it out on the website. It's a great document that really does highlight some of the amazing things and the big stuff that we've been able to do.
Wow, what an impressive impact Federal Home Loan Bank has had in San Francisco, but I know these efforts are replicated throughout the areas that the 11 partners or the 11 banks all impact those communities. I think I find it heartening to see that there's such a focus on that give back and making affordable housing accessible for people and incentivizing in some ways the member banks that are providing those opportunities, which I think in some respects we have to kind of consider doing that and make sure that it's a part of what's a part of the availabilities for all lenders and make sure that there are ways that people are really focusing on what the opportunity is, not just for the opportunity for them as a lender, but certainly the opportunity they're creating for people to build generational wealth within the communities where we serve.
Yeah, you couldn't be more. And I'm so excited. I mean, when I joined, Teresa Bryce Bazemore was our CEO, who came from the MI world, who was very focused on innovations in affordable housing and thinking outside the box. She helped us create some great programs that came out of our voluntary funds. Elena McCargo is our new CEO. She came most recently as president of Ginnie Mae. Again, her passion for affordable housing is amazing, and we're very excited about her enthusiasm to come in and do more. So the one thing that is great, we have some things that we do that are kind of set in stone and business as usual, but I would say over the last few years in particular, we have really gone out to try to figure out new ways to lend in the communities. We did a program with Urban Institute on closing the racial home ownership gap. We went out and had listening sessions. Our district is California, Nevada, and Arizona. We have a lot of tribal nations, so we've created some programs to help on the tribal nations. It's great. It's a lot of fun, but like I said, it's also eye-opening. We all know there's so much more to do, but even as much as we do a lot for affordable housing, low income, we actually started a new program last year. It was a middle income down payment assistance program. So we started with $10 million last year and gave grants up to $50,000 for folks in the 80 to 140 AMI range. Clearly that is a group that we, saw, teachers, firefighters, people that can make house payments, but didn't have the down payment. It was gone in a heartbeat. As you can imagine, we increased it to 20 million this year. So it's great. It's inspiring. One of the things coming out of the financial crisis, during COVID, the banks had lots of deposits. They weren't borrowing as much. our ability to get back is based on the amount that our members borrow from us to generate the interest revenue. The last couple of years have been pretty busy for us. So, as our income goes up, the dollars we get back to the community goes up. So it's been great the last couple of years to see. I think we had over 68 million for 2024 going back to our AHEAD and AHP programs. So it's great.
That's just staggering, the numbers and the way that your contributions have grown in over the last couple of years, and that commitment. It's just amazing. And there are components like the net income reinvestment. It's a compliance requirement. It's part of your structure. But how Federal Home Loan Bank navigates DE&I internally is anything but a compliance requirement. And I think our audience would find great inspiration in what you all do internally to drive DE&I and for the San Francisco branch specifically to lead among the 11 banks that are part of the Federal Home Loan Bank. So what's changed or not about Federal Home Loan Bank's commitment to DE&I?
I think it's continued to grow, and specifically for San Francisco, it's at the heart of what we do. And so it goes from the people we hire, the teammates we have, we are the most diverse of the 11. 68% of our team members represent minorities. We have 47% are women. We have 60% of our board of directors are represent minorities. So it's very intentional, and we think it makes for a better team member experience. So we're very committed to that. We also make sure that beyond just the people we hire, the people we work with are diverse. So we have diverse suppliers, we have diverse dealers. Everything we do sort of looks through that lens to try to make sure we're considering as many people as we can, especially people within our community.
Talk about walking the talk. I mean, it's not just, hey, this is our mission and it's, this is part of compliance and we're regulated and this is what we're supposed to do, this give back. But we're being really intentional about how we're building our internal team, how we represent the communities that we serve, and how we can better understand those communities by having such diversity within our own internal ranks. It's like I said, I know that our audience is going to find this incredibly inspiring because it's not something that is like the flavor of the week. This is part of your focus and mission. And I love that you guys are doing so many things to keep that intentionality in place and to keep that focus in line with the greater mission of what you do in the industry.
Yeah, it's part of our corporate goals. It's not, like I said, we have a lot of things that we do, and it's all centered around that and making sure that we're not losing focus, we're not getting distracted. We've seen, the benefits of it, and even beyond just, the staff or the suppliers, the different people, even within our members, and working with people in our communities, bringing folks in to teach them about the bank and jobs they might have, or partnering with one of our credit union members to do financial literacy. It's amazing how it just, once you sort of build it into your routines, it sort of permeates through the business and it becomes business as usual. You don't even, it's not that you're thinking, oh, I've got to go do this. It's just, it's part of who we are, and it's part of, what we do every day.
I love that. I mean, it just sounds like it feels really good to work at Federal Home Loan Bank. Like you just feel good with what you do.
We do. And it's great to have everybody together and be able to go in and spend time together. Like I said, we bring a lot of folks, San Francisco, LA, these are really difficult areas, and there's, a lot of help needed in those areas. And so we sit in the middle of San Francisco. We have partners that are, literally in the city. We're helping with, homelessness, different programs. And so you read about it, but then when you actually go out, I mean, the volunteering that we do, just the employees do, the bank does, we get out there and try to, give back as much as we can through that as well. So it was a great transition for me, having come from, 30 years of being on the mortgage side, but more on the banking, the acquisition, the finance side. And one of the things that drew me here was, the mission on affordable housing, the diversity, and it's as great as, I was told it would be. And that we have some great leaders that are just very passionate about it and want to make sure that it's part of who we are. So I think it makes us great.
Well, Jennifer Schachterle, we can't thank you enough for coming in and inspiring all of us today and helping us to see that a large entity like Federal Home Loan Bank can keep that very personalized experience happening with the mission and the goals, their corporate goals to touch more lives and to help more people have access to affordable housing. We just can't thank you enough for being here today.
I'm so glad to be here and always happy to share. Like I said, we're kind of this little known secret. So the more we get out there, and if people want to know more, certainly hit me up. I'm happy to talk to anyone and everyone. And the more partnerships we build, the more we can do. So.
Well, my friend, I think your LinkedIn is about to blow up with people asking to connect, and I hope that it does. If you have not reached out to Jennifer Schachterle to get connected, please do take a moment to do that. Get connected with her, pick that beautiful brain, and find out how it is that you can replicate some of the things that are happening at Federal Home Loan Bank within your own organization, and learn what it is that they're doing to have impact in our communities. Well, on behalf of our sponsor, PCB Mercor, who we cannot thank enough for your continued support, we could not get this done. We couldn't do this without you. Thank you so much. And on the behalf of California MBA DE&I committee, we thank you for being here today, Jennifer, and thank all of you for tuning in. And we hope to see you at a podcast again really soon. Take good care.
Thank you.